What up guys, Maxske here bringing you a brand new Ekko YouTube video, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys the brand new Maxske special CDR EKKO build. That's right, I made up a new build and I like it so much, it's really fun. I'm going to tell you guys the pros about it, the cons about it, and basically I just want you guys to go try it out and have a lot of fun doing it and get ready for Season 9. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, comment on my build, give me suggestions, and yeah, so let's get right into it and teach you guys the build.
Don't blink! All in! Just my style.
So the first thing I want to address is 9.2 nerfs, and this is the reason why I thought of a new build, because you know what, the same EKKO build over and over again for an entire season is kind of getting boring, and on top of that now it's getting nerfed. So why not try to find something new, something fresh, something fun to play on EKKO that's also good, but also fun, and also new. So first let's talk about the nerfs for 9.2. 9.2, Morale-a-Nomicon's getting a 10 AP nerf. So from 80 to 70 AP, still 3,000 gold. So that's quite expensive for only 70 AP. But we will be building Morale-a-Nomicon for like Vladimir's and Soraka's. But as like a item that you want to rush, Morale-a-Nomicon I don't think is no longer a good item to just get if the enemy team does not have healing. So very situational item now, because 70 AP for 3,000 gold, I don't like it personally. And then Absolute Focus got a 10 AP nerf also. So at level 18, Absolute Focus will only give you 30 AP and not 40 AP, which means that Absolute Focus is giving you less AP throughout the entire game. And on top of that, you have to be above 70% HP. So less AP is not fun for me. And on top of that, your flex runes, your adaptive force runes, the 10 APs on both parts, now it's only 9 AP. So you're losing 1 AP per flex rune. So on top of that, it's a 22 total AP nerf to EKKO's build if you go Morale-a-Nomicon. And on top of that, Ignite is getting a 95 damage nerf, but its cooldown is being decreased by 30 seconds. So Ignite will still be pretty good. Think of Ignite as like what happened to Electrocute. They lowered Electrocute's damage but buffed its CD, well, like lowered its CD, made it better. Same thing with Ignite. They're lowering Ignite's damage and lowering its CD also, so you can use it more often. So that's the basis of me looking for a new build. We got a lot of AP nerfs and a lot of damage nerfs also because of Ignite nerf and damage, and then 22 AP is also a nerf in damage. So I wanted to find a new build that'll be fun, fresh, and do a lot of damage, and let's talk about it now. So these are the runes you're going to go with this new EKKO build. I mentioned them in my economics video for 9.2. You're going to go Electrocute and Sorcery. You're going to go Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Ravenous Hunter. That's self-explanatory. We all know why. But here, the second part, we're going to go Transcendence, Gathering Storm. And I talk about why Transcendence is good, because they're nerfing Absolute Focus. Transcendence gives you CDR. And on top of that, when you're at 40% CDR, every single point of CDR after 40% gives you 2 AP per 1 CDR. So think about it. So if you have 40% CDR and you get a blue buff, you're getting 20 free AP. That's an example. And also we're going Gathering Storm. So we're going for that late game scaling. But why Transcendence? This is the key part of this build. We're going Transcendence because we're going to go CDR EKKO. We're going to get so much AP that Absolute Focus will never give us this much AP on top of 40% CDR. So one of the main things that's different about what I talked about in my economics video a couple of days ago is that the flex rune. We're going the flex rune of CDR scaling. Why? Because at level 18, that flex rune is going to give us 20 AP with Transcendence, which is pretty good. Compared to the 9 AP we're going to get before, now we're going to get 20 AP in total by the end of the game. So that's one big difference, and now you're probably understanding that yes, we're going the CDR EKKO route, which means Transcendence plus the CDR rune scaling plus CDR in our items. We're going to get so much AP from CDR after we get 40% CDR that Absolute Focus will never be able to give us that much AP. So that's the rune page for this build. And also let's talk about the actual items you're going to get to maximize the efficiency of this fun new CDR EKKO build. Alright guys, so let's talk about the items you're going to build for this new Maxske special CDR EKKO build. And I just want to say that the build that I showed you guys in Economics 9.2 is still really good. This one is just different, this is more innovative, and this is something that I thought of that'll be fun and actually really strong. And I enjoy playing it. I've been playing it in my ranked games, and I've been winning like all my games because it's really strong. I enjoy it. I'm having fun playing this new build because it's new, it's fun. And I just want to say that I'll talk about the pros and cons and the strengths and weaknesses, all that stuff after I talk about this build. But yeah, let's get into it. So first thing you want to do, you want to build Corrupting Potion to start. Why? Because mana and HP to survive the poke and all the annoying things in lane. And also it goes well with the Dark Shield that we're going to buy. We're only buying 1 Dark Shield though. Usually you buy 2 Dark Shields because you want more healing from your Corrupting Potion. On top of that, it gives you mana and nice AP for the early game. But we won't have enough space to build 2 Dark Shields. And on top of that, we won't need the mana. And we won't need the healing because we're not going to be taking that much poke. Because why? Because we're going to be playing more passive and more safe in the first early minutes of the game. So when on your back, next thing after Dark Shield, you also want to buy boots. You want to buy these boots because you obviously Echo wants movement speed. That's self-explanatory. You always want to have boots in the early game because if the enemy team buys boots and you don't have boots, you're going to get kited, especially on a melee champion. But after you build this, you want to go Lost Chapter. That's right. This is the new part of the build because this is a CDR Echo build. How do you get CDR? You need to build this bad boy right here. You got to build the Luden's Echo. But first we want to go Lost Chapter. Why Lost Chapter? Because Lost Chapter gives you 40 AP, which is pretty good. It gives you 300 mana, which is also really good. 300 mana? Yeah, it gives you 300 mana, and it gives you 10% CDR. And on top of that, every time you level up, you get mana back that you're missing. So this is why you don't need 2 Dark Shields. This is why you don't need Mana Flow Band, because this will help you survive an AFK farm. Like I said, we want to avoid trading. We want to avoid fighting. Obviously, sometimes you're going to have to fight. It happens. But for the most part, this Lost Chapter will help you farm longer in lane. After that, we're going to go Hextech Revolver. That's right. We're going to build Lost Chapter, and then we're going to build Revolver. Why? Because we don't want to finish Luden's Echo. You don't need to finish Luden's Echo. Protobelt is more important on Echo than Luden's Echo. So we're going to build Protobelt, and after Protobelt, and then finally after building the Revolver, we're going to finally finish Protobelt. Boom. So the first main item you finish is Protobelt. So at this point in the game, you're going to have Protobelt and Lost Chapter. Dark Seal, Refillable, and Boots. That's what you're going to have in your inventory. And then finally, after you build Protobelt, you're going to finish your boots of choice. So it could be any one of these boots. It could be these boots, or these boots. I thought about building Ionian. You could actually build Ionian boots for the CDR, because eventually those will give you 20 AP. But Magic Pen boots give you more damage than 20 AP, I'm pretty sure. On top of that, Merc Treads are really good for CC, and Tabbies are really good. So you don't want to sacrifice utility and Magic Pen just for 20 AP and some CDR, and you don't need them boots. So I tried Ionian boots. They were kind of fun. They gave you 20 AP with this build eventually, but Magic Pen boots are much better, and so are like defensive boots. So now you have your boots, Protobelt, Lost Chapter, and Dark Shield Refillable. Then you obviously want to finish your Luden's Echo. And this is a major point in the game. This means, guess what? At level 10, you get 10 AP from you get 10 CDR from Transcendence. So there's 10 CDR. Then Protobelt gives you 10 CDR. There's 20 CDR. Luden's Echo, 20% CDR. So when you finish Protobelt, Luden's Echo, you'll have 40% CDR. But wait, we also have that flex stat that gives us CDR. So at level 10, usually it'll be, let me say level 12. At level 12, you'll have 6% CDR from your flex rune. So on top, so think about it. 10% here, 20% here, 10% from Transcendence, that's 40%. And then you have 6% from your flex rune that's scaling. So you're already getting 12 AP extra because you have 46 CDR, which means you'll have 12 AP from CDR, that's 6%. So now right now, you have 12 extra AP from Transcendence. And if you get blue buff, you'll have 32 AP. So you're seeing where I'm going with this, right? And now you build Lichbane. What happens when you build Lichbane? You build Sheen, 10% CDR. Now when you finish Lichbane, Transcendence is giving you 34 AP, depending on what level you are. It'll give you from 32 up to 40 AP. Why? Because you have 10% here, 20%, that's 30%, 40%, Transcendence is 50%, and then your flex rune is scaling, so let's say 6%. It means you're getting like 36, 34 AP from Transcendence, which is already more than Absolute Focus will give you at around level 12. So at this moment in time right here, you're having more AP than you would ever have from Absolute Focus. And then after this, you could go whatever you want. At this point, it doesn't matter. You could go Death Cap. You could go Void Staff, right? You could go any of these things. You could go Merlinomicon if they have healing and stuff like that. So you could go all this. But say you don't want Merlinomicon. Say you don't want Death Cap. Say you don't want Void Staff. Well, you could actually build another CDR item. Imagine building Zhonya's now. That's another 10% CDR. That means Zhonya's, instead of 75 AP, Zhonya's is giving you 95 AP. Imagine that, right? So now you could actually build Banshee's Veil too. That's another 95 AP, because Banshee's Veil gives you 10% CDR, and it is 75 AP, guess what, plus 20. So you could actually have this type of a build with Echo, where you're actually super tanky, because you have Banshee's Veil, you have Zhonya's, You're actually super tanky, but on top of that, this is giving you 95 AP, this is giving you 95 AP. So you see where I'm going with this build? I'm stacking CDR, but you don't have to do these if you don't want to. I would usually go, depending if they have a lot of, if they have healing, I'll go Merlinomicon. If they have a lot of MR, I'll go Void Staff. If I'm super fed, just go Death Cap. But if I need a Zanyas, I could go Zanyas or Banshees, and I get even more damage from this. So you see where I'm going with this? You keep stacking CDR on top of each other. Plus blue buff. You're having like I had a point in the game where I had Proto Build, Luins, Lichbane, Transcendence, Zanyas, plus blue buff. My Transcendence was giving me 78 AP. I wasn't level 18 yet. If I was level 18, it would give me 80 AP. You're getting 80 AP potentially from a rune. Like, it's crazy. On top of that, if the enemy team is full AD, remember the Iceborne Gauntlet build? Well, Iceborne Gauntlet gives you 20% CDR. So imagine replacing Iceborne Gauntlet with Lichbane with Iceborne Gauntlet. You'll get a 40 AP from Iceborne Gauntlet. If you're versing a full AD team with like Tabbies, Iceborne Gauntlet. Like, do you see what I'm going with this? This is why I've been having a lot of fun with this build. And also imagine Nashor's Tooth. Nashor's Tooth could give you 120 AP because it has 20% CDR. Imagine that. So I hope you guys learn about the basis of my build and what I'm trying to do. I'm basically stacking CDR, and at 20 minutes with Gathering Storm and Transcendence, you'll have already 60 AP just from your runes. And it's going to keep scaling with the more CDR you get, and Gathering Storm keeps scaling. So that's why I'm having so much fun with this build. So I hope you guys learned something. And let's talk about the pros and cons of this build. So let's talk about the pros and cons. There's one really big con, but there's a lot more pros. We'll talk about that. So firstly, you get a stronger mid and late game. How? So Absolute Focus will be capped out at 30 AP now, level 18. And so that kind of sucks. And on top of that, usually before this patch, well, at least for me, I went Mana Flow ban, so I didn't even have Gathering Storm. So one of the things is, I'll have Gathering Storm scaling. So if it's a 30-minute game, I'll have like, what, 40-something AP from Gathering Storm. And if it keeps going, I'll get even more and more AP. So Gathering Storm will scale and give me AP. That's number one. Number two, the minimum AP Transcendence will give you with my build is 40 AP. So that's already more than Absolute Focus could give you after the nerf. And on top of that, you don't have to be above 70% HP. You'll always get a flat 40 AP. But if you build all CDR items and a Nashor's Tooth plus a blue buff, Transcendence will give you a whopping 120 AP. So that you have a chance, depending on your build, to get 120 extra AP from Transcendence. But obviously that's a little bit far-fetched. You won't actually do that. Most of the time, you'll probably get like 60, if not 80 AP from Transcendence. So that's a lot more. That's like double Absolute Focus AP. So you have you have this Transcendence AP plus Gathering Storm AP. Your late game extra bonus AP will be crazy good. More than you ever had before with Ekko. So that's the. And on top of that, you also have Luden's Ekko does a lot of damage. Lichbane does a lot of damage. All that stuff does a lot of damage. So you'll have a stronger mid and late game than you are right now. On top of that, at like around 18 minutes into the game, you'll have 40% CDR. Depending how fed you are, usually on average, if you're like doing okay, at like 18, 19 minutes, you'll have 40% CDR. I never really valued CDR in Ekko, but after doing this, 40% CDR in Ekko is amazing. You could E twice in a fight. You could Q twice in a fight. Your ult comes back every time you come back from base. Like, it's insane. 40% CDR is amazing on Ekko. And on top of that, you have all this damage from your runes now to be a stronger mid to late game champion. But on top of that, you're even stronger because you have 40% CDR, so you can spam your abilities. So that's like amazing. That's two amazing things for that. And lastly, it's new and fun. I haven't done this before. I've been using the same Ekko build for so long now. It's kind of boring. I want to try something new. And with this new build, I'm having fun. And because I'm having fun, I'm playing even better. So it's new, it's fun. It's something that I'd never seen before, actually. So go try it out, and it's amazing. But here's the con. The con is that you have an even weaker early game. We already know Ekko has a weak early game. But with this build setup, you're kind of even weaker. At level 1, you're only going to have 9 AP. Why? Because we're going to CDR Flex Rune. So you're only going to get 9 AP level 1 because of Corrupting Potion, which sort of makes you 9 AP weaker, so it kind of sucks. On top of that, you're building Lost Chapter first, so you're going to lose the Revolver passive damage. So that also gives you a little bit, like, makes you a little bit weaker. And on top of that, you're delaying when you're going to finish Proto Belt because you're building Lost Chapter, then Proto Belt, you're delaying your Proto Belt power spike. So that makes your early game, a little bit weaker, which sucks. But If we play safe, if we play smart and we survive, then we get to that late game scaling that we want. So this build is a lot reliant on scaling and getting to that early mid game to mid game around that 15-minute to 20-minute mark where you're gonna start get going. So you have to just survive and get there. Obviously the game happens and there's fights early, things happen early. You can still get kills, you're still strong, you're still gonna have damage, you're still gonna have AP. You're actually gonna have more AP than you are finishing Protobell, because if you go Revolver and Lost Chapter, you're gonna have 80 AP, and Protobell only gives you 60 AP. So you'll have a little bit more AP, but you won't have a complete item until a little bit later. But if you do get some kills, if you do get going, this build snowballs really fast too. And on top of that, if you're feeding, if you're doing bad, if your team survives, you have a scaling build, so you're still gonna be like useful. So basically what I could say is just survive the early game, even though it's gonna be a little bit harder. But you will learn more about playing Ekko from behind because you're going to be weaker. But as soon as you survive the early game, boom, your late game's going to be super fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Ekko build. Hope you guys have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.